everyone involved. We hope you enjoy your stay here as our guest this evening. We also ask all spectators to please stay off the playing field until the two teams have finished their post-game handshakes. At this time, we ask you to please rise, if you're able, and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Presenting tonight's colors is the Vermont National Army Guard.
Live from the Collins-Pearly Sports Center, you're watching BFA Bob White football. Good evening, everyone. Tate Brooks, Joe Luno on hand as the Bob Whites host homecoming. That was Wyatt Trombley, Joe, on the saxophone. Again, made note of this earlier in the season, a player for the Bob Whites, but also plays the saxophone and does the national anthem.
Yeah, we had the opportunity of seeing Wyatt as a guest up here in the booth a few minutes ago, and he looks like he's ready to go tonight, Tate.
So the Bob Whites in their traditional all-gold uniforms for homecoming, Joe. Maybe back in our days they called it the banana look, but they're a little bit different now. Instead of the gold jersey, gold pants, they've got, and with the green numbering, they've got, compared to the white numbering of years gone by. So it makes it a little bit easier to read the uniforms out there.
Maybe they realize that you might have some middle-aged guys reading the numbers, Tate.
Better to be middle-aged than old, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Burlington comes in tonight's game 3-1 overall. Again, the Bob Whites still looking for their first victory of the season. Currently sit at 0-4.
Yeah, also looking for their first points.
Bob Whites will be receiving here to start off the first half. That's Porter Sweeney back deep for the Bob Whites. Stands around his own 10-yard line.
The Bob Whites were showing a little action on the kick returns last game here at the Collins take, and we'll see what we have here.
Early start time here to tonight's game. Historically 7 o'clock, moved up an hour to 6 p.m. here this Friday. Gorgeous fall evening.
SeaWolves kicking off from the 40.
Just going to be a little pooch kick over on the far side of the field, and is it going to be indeed picked up? Turning it up is Porter Sweeney, but no running room there at all. Tackled immediately by Brody Crete, and the Bob Whites will start deep in their own territory.
Nice play by Crete, Tate. Would have been a little bit of running room otherwise. There are some Bob White's fans who are walking around with an inflated banana that's about 6 feet tall.
There you go. So Bob White's going to start this drive at their own 10-yard line. Quarterback Gordon LaRiviere splits the huddle. Mason Mercure split out wide on the near side, and it's going to be a handoff straight ahead, and diving for a couple on the play is number 23, Davion Jones.
Yeah.
Jones, a sophomore. Again, a number of sophomores on this varsity squad for BFA.
Unusual to see Jones with the first take this evening, Tate.
It's going to be a 4-receiver set. That's Josh Anderson split out wide here to the near side, and it's going to be a handoff between the tackles straight ahead. Again, I think that's Jones for minimal gain, maybe a pickup of 1.
Hey, it looks like they're going to mark it about where you said, Tate.
Going to set up a 3rd and 9. Ball spotted at the Bob White 11.
We'll see what the Bob Whites do here.
Bob White's break the huddle. Anderson will line up in the slot man. Trips formation here to the near side. That's Mercure split out all the way wide here to the near side. Back to pass is LaRiviere. He dishes it deep downfield. Jump ball incomplete.
Boy, that was close to a flag, Tate. South Burlington got there a little early by the looks of things.
Josh Anderson, the intended receiver. That was Jack Kelly for the South Burlington SeaWolves, breaking things up.
Boy, I thought he was breaking the party up a little early, Tate. I think the SeaWolves caught a break there.
So Bob White's forced a punt. Looking at a 3 and out. Looks like it's going to be Trip Robtoy to punt away here. Again, another sophomore. Lone snap, gets it down. Line drive kick here to the near side. It's going to be fielded at the Bob White 35-yard line. Turning it upfield is Brody Crete. Crete to the near side. Crete to the 10. And Crete all the way down to the Bob White 3-yard line where Robtoy forces him out.
Well, punter cleaned up his own punt, but that's not the punter's fault, but a net negative punt, I'm afraid, Tate. Bob White's defense is going to be called for a tall order immediately.
So it's going to be 1st and goal here for the SeaWolves. Ball spotted, let's call it, at the BFA 5-yard line. SeaWolves are led by quarterback Amin Deawara, who is extremely athletic and fast. Joe, we were talking in the pregame, he actually won the 100 and 200-meter dash this spring, and he's going to call his own number and in for a SeaWolf touchdown. One play is all it took, and the SeaWolves have a 6-0 lead.
Deawara appeared to be untouched there from the booth, Tate.
Another Bob White coaching staff expected to see a lot of him this evening, calling his own number. Again, probably one of the most athletic players in the state. And it's 6-0 SeaWolves. PAT attempt here. Bouffard to hold. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and Frazier's kick is good. With 10:35 remaining here in the first quarter, it is the South Burlington SeaWolves 7, BFA 0. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Joe Luna on here at the Collins Pearly Sports Center. Joe, not the start that the Bob Whites wanted to dial up here this evening.
No. We'll see if they can compose themselves a little bit here. South Burlington about to kick off from their own 40 again. Who do we got set back for the Bob Whites, Tate?
See if it's Porter Sweeney. I believe, yeah, Sweeney stands at his own 10-yard line.
Sweeney was a tackler away from a decent gain last time, Tate.
He moves up a little bit. It was a kind of a pooch kick last go-around. Again, that's Anthony Bouffard getting a little punch kick, and it's going to be fielded by the up man at the 20-yard line. And that looks to be Rob Toy with about a 10-yard return. So Bob White's, instead of starting at their 10, they're going to start this drive at their own 30.
Well, we'll take that. It's something.
So here we go, 1st and 10 for BFA.
We'll see what kind of play selection coach calls on first down here, Tate.
Head coach for the SeaWolves, Chad Wolf. I believe this is his 3rd season. This is associate head coach Nick Mashad. He's a coach at Mount Mansfield. That's where BFA will be playing next week. And we got multiple flags in the backfield. We'll either have a Burlington offside or it looks like at the near side official. No, illegal motion against.
Going to be a 1st and 15 for the Bob Whites. There was some disagreement among the line judge and the official throwing the flag, but it goes to the flag thrower.
The official in the backfield indicated that BFA was moving first. That drew the SeaWolf player offside. So 1st and 15. Anderson splits out wide here to the near side. Porter Sweeney, slot man here to the near side. 4 receiver set. LaRiviere hands off straight ahead, and driving ahead is, I believe, Josh. Let's see. Sorry, that's Jonas Wagner.
No, I think it's Davion Jones, number 23.
Thank you,
Looks
Joe.
like he might have picked up about 4, they're figuring.
Thank you, Joe, for Jones on the 3-yard carry.
It appears that Wagner is inactive this evening.
3 receivers set here to the near side. There's a snap. A little screen pass here to the near side. Porter Sweeney makes the catch, turns it upfield, but defended well by the SeaWolves. It's going to be a minimum gain of probably about 3 on the reception.
Hey, it's a positive play, but it's still going to bring up a 3rd and long take.
Gordon LaRiviere takes in the play call here into the huddle. Looking at a 3rd and 9. Under 9:30 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 SeaWolves. 3 receivers set on the top side of your screen. LaRiviere takes the high snap down. Under pressure, rolls out of the pocket on the far side. Looking downfield, looks to tuck the football, turns it upfield, and takes a big hit and forced out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain.
Well, it's a decent shot. He didn't see anything down there, Tate. Going to be about 2 or 3 yards short of the marker, though, I'm afraid.
So Trip Rabtoy checks back in to punt away here for the Bob Whites. Sophomore will stand at his own 25-yard line. High snap, Rabtoy gets it down, just gets it away. High end over end kick, it's short, and fielded it. Oh! Big hit there, but holding on to the football, I believe, for the SeaWolves is number 13, Sheamus Leggett.
Looked like that Bob White hit came from number 20, Sweeney, if I'm not mistaken.
So SeaWolves fortunate, Joe, to hold on to that. Just as easily could have been fumbled away at midfield after that big hit.
Boy, that was a well-timed tackle on the punt, Tate.
So here we go. 4 receivers set.
Bob White's actually have the SeaWolves in their own territory, Tate.
Podcast split out wide here to the near side. DeWera hands off here to the near side to Bouffard, and Anthony Bouffard will have the first down and forced out of bounds at the Bob White 39-yard line.
Well, Bob Whites are just going to have to do better, Tate. I don't know what else to say about that. Had to pick up about 14 yards there, give or take.
No huddle here for the SeaWolves, right to the line of scrimmage. Again, 4 receivers set.
And be looking at number 6 in the far left.
And throwing a high and is intercepted, incomplete. broken up there nicely.
Nicely by number 23, Davian Jones.
Jones did everything but intercept that pass, Tate.
So Davian Jones, nice read on the ball. You're right, Joe. Almost came down with it. Clock stops with the incompletion. SeaWolves looking at a 2nd and 10. 3 receivers set here now to the near side. Empty backfield. Motion now in the backfield, and it's going to be a quick pitch over on that far side of the field to Hunter Johnson. Johnson turns the corner and wrapped up for minimal gain.
It's like number 20 in on the play again.
Johnson, tackled by Sweeney, brings up 3rd down and a long 9.
So sets up a 3rd and 9.
Bob White's defense has a manageable down here.
Fans, it's 3rd down. Make some noise for your ball.
7:27 remaining here in the first quarter. 3 receivers set here to the near side.
Bob White showing a 4-man front.
DeWera calls his own number. Quarterback keeper straight ahead. He breaks through, and he's still on his feet. Dives ahead down to the 6-yard line of the BFA Bob Whites. Just explosive speed, right between the tackles, calling his own number on the quarterback keeper straight ahead.
Got to close those gaps up, Tate. I don't know what else to say. It's going to be a very, very long night here at the Collins Pearly.
Again, if you're just joining us, stay wary. The quarterback for the SeaWolves won the 100 and 200-meter dash this past spring. He was state champ in those activities, so speed certainly a factor. 3 receivers set here to the near side. And we've got a handoff, I think, straight ahead to Hunter Johnson. Johnson's going to make it down to about the 2.
Looks like he was wrapped up by number 24, Jared Helms.
Tackled at about the 2-yard line of BFA. 2nd down.
See if the Bob Whites can hold here, Tate.
Caught 2nd and goal at the BFA 2. Handoff straight ahead and in for a SeaWolf. Waiting for a signal. There it is. Touchdown. Believe that was Hunter Johnson on the carry for the touchdown. And the SeaWolves extend their lead to 13-0.
On to attempt the PAT for South Burlington. Number 1, August Frazier.
PAT attempt here for the SeaWolves. There's the snap. There's the kick. It is up, and it is good. August Frazier adds on the PAT. Our lead with 6:17 remaining in the first quarter. It's the SeaWolves 14, BFA 0. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV.
Burlington is about to set up.
Bob White set to return. Bob White's on the road next week. They play at Mount Mansfield. I believe the Cougars are still looking for their first win of the season. So, again, obviously, the Bob White still have another 3.5 quarters to play here this evening. But that's another game on the schedule that you got to think they're thinking there's an opportunity for them.
That would appear to be one of the better opportunities on the schedule, Tate.
Doesn't get any easier after that with Essex and Rutland. High end over end kick again, a little kind of a pooch kick, and it's going to be fielded by an up man by BFA. See if that was Rabtoy again. I think it was. No gain on the kick return.
Yeah, he did the right thing there, Tate. He didn't try to get cute with it, just tried to keep possession of the short kick.
So here we go, Bob White offense out to their own 31-yard line.
Let's see, Bob White's had opened with a run the first couple series. Let's see what they do here.
Anderson splits out wide here to the near side, along with Merkerer. It's going to be a three-receiver set here to the near side. There's a snap, handoff straight ahead, and I believe that's Devion Jones.
Little more success. Looks like a gainer of maybe 5.
Could have been Sweeney. Was Sweeney.
Gonna credit the Bob Whites with 4.
Sets up a 2nd and 6. Sweeney in the backfield with his quarterback Gordon La Riviere. They'll move Devion Jones over to that far side. There's a snap, handoff to Sweeney. Sweeney turns it upfield, picks up a couple more. Bob White's now looking at a 3rd and manageable. We'll call it maybe 3rd and about 3.
Absolutely. Being cheered on, but not by 1, but by 2 dancing Bob White mascots.
Your eyes are better than me. So call it 3rd and 2. Mercure splits out wide here to the near side. Anderson, the slot man. Here's a snap, handoff straight ahead to Sweeney, and Sweeney pushes the pile and have enough for a first down.
Bob White's moved the chains for the first time tonight, Tate.
So first down for the Bob Whites.
Looks like the ball's going to be spotted about the Bob White's 44 here.
Not making that up. Come and play your phone.
Again, trips formation here to the near side. Long count. Seahorses showing blitz. Handoff over on that far side to Davion Jones. And Jones had a little bit of a seam there and picks up 6, maybe 7 on the carry.
I'll tell you, I've seen Jones in other capacities, and if you cheat on him, Tate, you don't get him, he has the ability to take off on you.
So a good pickup on first down for the Bob Whites. Now looking at a 2nd and 3. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. SeaWolves for the 14-0 lead. Mercure splits out wide here to the near side. Seahorses showing blitz again. Handoff again straight ahead to Jones. And
Got a flag down here. It's in the backfield.
Legal procedure.
5-yard penalty. Brings up 2nd down and 11.
It's unfortunate. A little bit of offensive glimmers we've seen this year from the Bob Whites have often been held back by procedural errors. That's something these guys need to work on.
All right, Bob White's now looking at a 2nd and 9. Long count, back to pass, little screen, and making the catch is Sweeney, and Porter Sweeney picks up 4 on the reception. Good job, good concentration by Sweeney there.
Got a few out of it. Number 18, Ryan Audebert from the SeaWolves was just on it, took a chance, and it was about a 5-yard loss on the gamble tape. As the Bob Whites get, as you said, another 3rd and manageable.
Call it 3rd and 4. Three receiver set on the far side. LaRiviere takes it, fires over the middle, and McCure makes the catch. Mason McCure with a nice catch and picks up the first down.
For another BFA Bob White.
All right. About 3 men on him, but number 88 is just a bigger guy.
No. That was McNulty on the catch, my apologies. There's a snap, fumbled on the snap, and sacked on the play. The Riviere, frankly, just happy to get the football back.
Happy to keep possession, had a flub snap, wasn't handled cleanly, Tate, and that's going to cost the Bob Whites about 12 yards. Bring up about a 2nd and 22. Back to midfield.
Loss of 10 on the play. Brings up.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the first.
If that were the case, I believe that's a 15-yarder regardless of the spot.
Correct.
An automatic first down.
It's not an automatic first down.
It's not an automatic.
It's not. It's just 15 yards. It's going to be close. You're probably looking at like 2nd and 1 or first down.
We found that one.
Oh, thank you. Apparently, some young ladies found a phone that does not belong to them.
All right, it is enough. No, it's not. It's going to be 2nd and 1 here for BFA. All right, blitz is on. Back to pass, just gets it off, deflected in the air, and La Riviere catches his own pass. So, you know, the pass is completed, but in that situation, it would have been better just to bat it down. It's going to be a loss of about 4 on the play.
Well, the Bob Whites still have the ball in a 3rd and manageable. Clock ticks as not as Leverrier get credit on both ends of that one.
You do. Unfortunately, it's also a -4 in passing yards. But you do get credit for completion.
It does help your completion percentage.
This is true. Glass half full.
The old Boney Kosar.
Here we go. 3rd and 5. Back to pass again. Rifled here to the near side to Sweeney. Sweeney turns the corner and drives ahead. And Porter Sweeney is going to be close to a BFA first down.
SeaWolves defenders need to line the game.
Wouldn't be surprised if the chains were called upon here, Tate.
Officials look down, say it's a first down, so they do not bring out the
That is a BFA.
chains, Joe. Big cheer on hand at the Collins Pearly with that official signal.
Hey, been up here for a few quarters, and this might be the best BFA offensive series we've witnessed out of the booth so far this season, Tate.
So here we go. Bob White's break the huddle. Corey McNulty splits out wide on the far side of the field. 4 receivers set. Le Riviere under heavy pressure gets it away, fires it high, deep and wide for McNulty, and he comes down with it, and he's in for a BFA touchdown.
The Bob Whites have scored. The Bob Whites have scored.
Corey McNulty pulls it in from 33 yards out, and the Bob Whites pull within 8.
I am checking for flags on the field. I see nothing of that nature, Tate.
Great job by McNulty, Joe, going up high into the air. It was a jump ball, and he came down with that one.
I'll tell you, he's a big kid, Tate. He's a big kid. He had a catch earlier in the series, and basically he was just bigger than the guys around him.
Attempting the PAT here is Marcus McConnell, and the snap is no good. PAT is no good. With that, we'll take a quick timeout. Our score, SeaWolves 14, BFA 6. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back, everyone, here to the Collins Pearly Sports Center. Joe, your thoughts on that last BFA drive?
Hey, Bob White's converted a third down early in the drive, and I'd like to see him mix it up a little bit. You know, we weren't just running inside between the hashes. McNulty had that big catch on that third and manageable, but it was thrown into a crowd. He had 3 guys on him. He's just bigger, Tate. And I would hope that the Bob Whites would try to monopolize on that a little bit. Really a big young man who clearly has decent hands. Playing tight end and D-line here for the Bob Whites, number 88.
So Bob White's within a score now. Davian Jones to kick off for BFA. Hunter Johnson back deep for the SeaWolves. He'll stand at his own 10-yard line. And the kick is away. End over end kick. And Johnson fields it at around his own 18. Johnson to the far side of the field. Has a lane. Turns it upfield. Still bobbing, weaving, and finally forced out at his own 48.
Johnson on the return. Knocked out of bounds by number 23, Davian Jones.
And we've had a punter and now a kicker make tackles on their own kicks and punts in this half for the Bob Whites.
1 second remaining here in the first quarter, so one more snap.
I would expect to see South Burlington run a play. Why would they take a knee at the end of the first quarter, Tate?
They certainly will run a play.
What will it be?
2 receivers set here to the near side. Harry Paquette, the wide man here. There's a snap and handoff over to Bouffard. Anthony Bouffard turns the corner, turns on the speed, and Bouffard pushed out of bounds, but that will be enough for a first down, and that will do it on the first quarter of play. Our score, it's the South Burlington SeaWolves 14, the BFA Bob Whites 6. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back, everyone, to the Collins Pearly Sports Center here in St. Albans, 14-6 as we let the second quarter get underway.
See if the Bob Whites can find a hold here, Tate.
Back to pass, the air, and pass is completed. Turning upfield is Alec O'Neill, and O'Neill still running free, and O'Neill breaking tackles, and O'Neill will take it the distance for a SeaWolf touchdown.
Plenty of opportunities for a Bob White tackle there, Tate.
35-yard touchdown reception. You're right, Joe. A lot of
I saw at least 3.
A lot of running after the catch. And the Bob White coaching staff not going to be pleased with that.
I think that tape is going to be reviewed this week, Tate.
I suspect tonight or tomorrow.
We don't need to call the numbers out. They know who they are.
August Frazier for the PAT. Seamus Leggett to hold. There's a snap. Frazier's kick is up, and it just gets across and is no good.
No.
So wide right. Our score with 11:47 remaining in the first half. It's the SeaWolves 20, BFA 6. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's take a moment to thank our community sponsors that make our live sports coverage possible. Splish Splash Clean and Clear, Northwestern Rehab Services, Notch Vermont, My Healthy Vermont, JC Image, Stone's Auto, St. Albans, East Fairfield, and Collins Pearly Sports and Fitness Center. If your business would like to help sponsor our live coverage, please check out and reach out to Paul Snyder at Northwest Access TV. Check out their website for more at details northwestaccess.tv. So, Joe, not the way the Bob Whites wanted to respond after their touchdown to give up a quick 6 there.
No, it's not, Tate, but we'll see how they respond. The last series looked promising for the Bob Whites offensively.
Should note, first score of the season.
It was the first score of the season. There were some concerns about picking up regional coverage, and I think that was dispelled by the touchdown from McNulty.
Frazier's been doing a little pooch kick. He does it once again on that far side, and Rabtoy just falls on the football at his own 33, 34-yard line.
Hey, we'll take that. Not a bad place to start with the football.
Bob White's on the road next week. Next Saturday, they'll trek down to Chittenden County and take on Mount Mansfield. SeaWolves will host Colchester. Again, if you're just tuning in, SeaWolves come into 3-1 record this evening. Mason McCure splits out wide here to the near side. 3 receivers set. The Riviere play action, heavy pressure, steps up in the pocket, fires it, and its flag is going to fly. This may be a holding in the offensive line area or an illegal man downfield. Let's see what the call is.
It was in holding territory, Tate. Don't see a hand signal yet.
There it is, holding against the BFA offense. That's going to be 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Still a first down for the Bob Whites. See what they can do here, Tate.
3 receivers set here on the near side. That's Davian Jones in the backfield with his quarterback. High snap, rolling here to the near side. Steps up, fires high, and ball is caught. Nice diving reception by Josh Anderson, who went down and picked up that football, Joe, like a good shortstop.
And I'll tell you, Tate, Jones had a key block just in front of Leverrier that allowed that pass to happen.
So big reception now makes it a much more manageable 2nd and about 4. Nose of the football at the BFA 40-yard line.
Bob White's throwing the football around with a little bit of success tonight, Tate.
Probably the most success we've seen in the first half this season.
Or in any half, for that matter.
4 receivers set. The Riviere takes it, hands off straight ahead to Jones, makes a nice cut, and he'll have a BFA first down.
There's a flag on the play, but it looks like it's the end of the play.
Possible face mask. Good call, Joe. 2 of them lay at the 46-yard line. Again, right where the tackle was made. So usually you see a face mask right around there.
Yep. About to announce the call.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Problem with that is you can blow out the runner's knee by tackling in that manner. So that's why they don't allow you to tackle it by the...
Deacon Jones would not be allowed to play here in his own style, Tate.
Hey, there'd be a lot of players that wouldn't be able to play with their own style if you look at some of that 1970s footage. Pass over on that far side. Porter Sweeney pulls it down, and Sweeney will drive ahead close to a first down.
Bob Whites are just a rolling, Tate.
Yeah, I was watching, I don't know why, but some old NFL Today footage, like from back in the 1970s, and like all the highlights they're showing in the NFL Today pregame show, like the 5 or 6 hits they show would all be illegal penalties today.
Also, a guy comes by you, just a straight armbar, clothesline of the neck.
You know,
that was a legal play.
It was like watching the old World Wrestling Federation, the old WWF.
Like the Hanson brothers were penalized for less.
Sets up a 2nd and 2, and we've got another flag. This one's going to be against the BFA offense.
Yeah, it looks like motion on BFA, Tate.
A lot of flags here in the first half. All right, illegal procedure against BFA. That is the official call. It's going to be 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty remains.
Well, we're lucky there aren't more yards for extra hand signals because there were about 10 circles from the official there before he called it.
So La Riviere heads back into the huddle here. See what the Bob Whites dial up.
Even with the penalty, the Bob Whites are facing a 2nd and 6 here.
3 receivers set here to the near side. Devian Jones flanked right to the left of his quarterback. Heavy pressure, blitz is on. La Riviere steps up, and he's sacked in the pocket. It's going to be a loss of 6.
Did well to hold on to the football. Taken down by number 58, Jude Hermansky, junior.
Brings up 3rd down and 11 to go.
3rd and 11.
I think the Bob Whites are certainly a 2-down territory here, Tate.
Absolutely.
Balling about the South Burlington 40.
Anderson splits out on the far side along with Mercier. Well, Riviere back to pass, looking fires across, and incomplete pass was intended, I believe, for Mason Mercier.
Think he had him, just didn't quite connect.
Looked like he was doing kind of like a 10-yard button hook there.
Tell you, Sweeney had picked up a key block to make that pass happen, but it just wasn't there for the Bob Whites that snap, Tate.
All right, here we go, 4th and 11, and, well, looks like Rabtoy is checking in, so BFA may try to force the SeaWolves to start this next drive deep in their own territory.
Tate, on the right side of our view, you have the double Bob White. The white and green Bob White are on the track.
Rob Toy gets it away, end-over-end kick, going to bounce at the 10, and good job by the Bob Whites to down it right there at the 15. Now, okay, there you go, Joe, the double Bob White. Not seen that.
One of the Bob Whites is wearing a sash. I can't quite make out what it's saying.
I think it said Spirit.
That would make sense.
Hey, we'd also like to thank Northwest Counseling and Support Services and the Afterglow Foundation. The two organizations have been working to prevent suicide deaths in our community. If you are concerned about yourself or a loved one, there are people in our community that can help. We'll give you that additional information after this next play. SeaWolves have the ball here, 1st and 10 at the 15. Day aware. Low snap, calls his own number though, splits the tackles, lowers his shoulder, and drives ahead for 10 yards. Joe, even on a bad snap, he's able to pick up 10.
Bob White's got to close up that hole there, Tate. Close up that hole.
In regards to Northwest Counseling and Support Services, reach out to NCSS 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on its confidential emergency services line at 802-524-6554, then press 1. Or you can always text 988. One call, text, or chat could save a life. Low snap again calling quarterback keeper straight ahead and good for 7.
That is the best defense of a keeper the Bob Whites have shown so far tonight, Tate. Can't blame South Burlington for running the same play. Why are you going to change it up?
You know, I mean, when you have an athletic quarterback such as that, and very little can go wrong. The only thing that can go wrong is really the snap, because if you're not handing it off, you're not throwing the football, I mean, it's pretty straight. You get the ball, and you run.
Oh, there's a bad snap. And a Bob White sack, I believe, from number 52. Like Wyatt Trombley, the sax player of the anthem, gets a beneficial sack from a poor snap, but it all looks the same in the book, State.
All right, sets up a 3rd and about 8. SeaWolves looking to their head coach, Chad Wolf, on that far sideline for a play call. They'll have to pick up the pace or use a timeout here, I would think.
Third down, make some noise.
Looking like a 3rd and 8. Three-receiver set here for the SeaWolves. DeWera back to pass, under heavy pressure, flushed out of the pocket, fires it deep downfield, and it is caught. Or is he inbounds, out of bounds? They're going to say he's in. That's number 8, Harry Podcat.
Going to be enough for a South Burlington first down, I'm afraid.
So good job by Podcat, tiptoeing on that far sideline and staying in bounds, and picks up a critical first down for the SeaWolves.
Yep, clock stopped at 6:57 as he went out of bounds after the completion, Tate. 20-6 here, South Burlington with the first and 10 on their own 40.
O'Neal splits out wide here to the near side. Handoff straight ahead to Hunter Johnson, and Johnson stood up. Minimal gain on the play.
Bunch of Bob Whites involved there. You could see number 64, Riven Williams, is outside on our side of the viewing of the field.
Sets up a second and about 6. DeOera back to pass, fires over the middle, has his tight end, and the catch is made by Jack Kelly. Kelly looks to be just short of the sticks, likely setting up a third and about 1.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we're about to see a keeper take.
Not a bad prediction with your crystal ball. DeWera calls his own number. He drives ahead, has the first down all the way to the BFA 40. Joe, he tripped up at the BFA 46-yard line and landed at the 40. Like, fell forward about 6 yards.
2 words, Tate. Game film.
DeWera is a senior for the SeaWolves.
Probably the most athletic quarterback we've seen here at the Collins so far this season.
I would echo that. 4 receiver set, first and 10. Nose to the football at the Bob White 41-yard line. There's a snap and calls it over to Bouffard. Bouffard turns the corner, still on his feet, stiff arms a man. Bouffard off a second, third tackle, and finally taken down at the 11-yard line. Evan Judd had to clean things up there after a few Bob Whites couldn't quite finish things off there.
There was some opportunity to get the runner right around the point of the handoff, Tate, and they just need to work on that. I don't know what else to say.
Evan Judd, senior for the Bob Whites. So what do we got here? 4 receivers set, first and 10, ball spotted at around the 11. Handoff straight ahead once again to Hunter Johnson, and Johnson down to about the 7.
The tackler looks like number 31 for the Bob Whites, Wilder Mudgett.
Sets up a second and 2 at the Bob White, call it 8-yard line.
It's a rule of thumb, you don't want to see a whole lot of D-back tackles in running plays, Tate.
DeOera calls his own number here to the near side. It's a race to the pylons, and he turns the corners in for a Seahorse touchdown. DeOera just, unstoppable.
It appears that way. There have been a couple plays where he got slowed up a little bit, but my guess is that he's probably up around 100 yards here on the ground, Tate. And
it's not even halftime.
It is not even halftime. It's the middle of the second quarter here.
All right. Frazier for the PAT attempt. There's a snap. Frazier's kick is up. It's high enough, and it is good. Our score with 4:03 remaining in the first half. It's the SeaWolves 27, BFA 6. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back, everyone, to the Collins Pearly Sports Center in St. Albans. Tate Brooks, Joe Luna on hand. Again, homecoming night for BFA. You're okay. Want to speak, Joe? Go ahead. Nope.
All right. Oh, okay. I just had a little technical issue there.
Go ahead. All right, that's fine. Keep speaking. Trust me.
All right. Thank you.
I can hear you. You're good.
Looks like the Bob Whites are about to receive another kickoff.
All right. Joe, are you able to hear now?
I'm able to hear just fine.
All right, there we go. So fighting through a few technical difficulties, another short end-over-end kick over on that far side, and turning it upfield for BFA is Davion Jones, and Jones takes it out to the 45-yard line. Or Porter Sweeney.
It's a nice return. Nice return. Bob Whites are going to pick it up in South Burlington territory.
So Bob White's just under 4 minutes to play with here, Joe. I mean, plenty of time to work the half the field they've got to work with to get some points.
And not give South Burlington the ball back. That would be my target.
And if you could pull it within 2 scores heading into halftime, I'm sure the Bob Whites will take that.
Well, we've seen different outcomes at halftime so far this season, certainly.
All right. Bob White switches things around with their receivers now. Rotate to a 3-receiver set here to the near side. La Riviere, shotgun formation, back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, firing deep downfield, and looking for Anderson, and overthrows him. Pass intended for Josh Anderson, just too much under that football.
Hey, took a stab. Anderson was standing about the 10, and ball in at somewhere around the 6, Tate. Like the idea, though. Like the idea. Bob White's for taking a shot. We'll see what they do here at second down. Of course, that killed no clock, being an incomplete pass. Showing 3:50 here, remaining in the half.
All right, 3-receiver set now on the far side of the field. La Riviere hands off here to the near side. Davion Jones. Jones maybe a yard or 2 on the carry.
Yeah, not a whole lot there. I'm guessing we're going to see the Bob Whites let it click a little bit before they run another play. You're going to credit Jones with a yard there, Tate.
I would say we could give some halftime scores at the half, but not this week with the early start time. Most games around the state aren't starting for another 12 minutes. All right, here it is, 3rd and 8 for the Bob Whites. 3rd and 9. La Riviere, long count, back to pass, little swing pass, and incomplete, intended for Porter Sweeney. Joe just putting a little too much of a lead for Sweeney.
Well, I think not only that, the D-back from South Burlington, number 20, Brody Crete, was right on top of that. I think sometimes you just got to look down to option number 2 in your progression, Tate. See what the Bob Whites do with 3:06 left on a 4th and 9. Looks like they're set up for the punt.
Yeah, Trip Raptoid checks in. He'll stand at his own 44. Long count by Raptoy as they settle down. Kick is away. High end-over-end kick.
Decent punt.
Fielded ball's loose. Fumble on the play. It's loose. Still on the ground. And who's going to come up with it as we see 4 or 5 players wrestling for the football and the SeaWolves come up with it.
Nice net punt for the Bob Whites, though, Tate.
Raptoy's punt allowed the punt team to get down there. Gave them an opportunity.
Looks like South Burlington's going to start somewhere around their own 12 or 13.
Just under 3 minutes ago here in the first half, Bob White defense can ill afford to let in a final touchdown here.
I'll tell you, based on what I've seen, you just go find somebody and you get them in the middle, down low, right behind those linemen, Tate.
We're going to have a timeout taken on the field by BFA. With that, let's take a moment to thank our community sponsors that make our live sports coverage possible. Splish Splash Clean and Clear, Northwestern Rehab Services, Notch Vermont, My Healthy Vermont, JC Image, Stone's Auto, St. Albans and East Fairfield, and the Collins Pearly Sports and Fitness Center. If your business would like to help sponsor our live coverage, please check out to Paul Snyder at Northwest Access TV. Check out their webpage for more information and details, northwestaccess.tv.
All right, the Bobwhite's called a timeout coming out of here. See if they can conjure some kind of defense. Dewara has kind of been having his way, Tate.
I would say more than kind of.
If I were the Bobwhites, I'd pick your safety. Okay,
follow him everywhere. Line him up in a linebacker position. Just
that's what I'm seeing. Let him throw. It's not going to be any worse than what he's done on the ground.
Back to pass. Looking to air it out here to the near side. A little flag pattern. Ball is caught for the first down. Number 30 for the Seahorses. That's Hunter Johnson. Nice pass.
Was brought down by number 51, Evan Judd. It looks like personal foul territory. There's a flag down well after the play.
Just seeing it now. And Bobwhite's would be ill-advised to give up a free 15 yards here. We'll see if that's the call.
It looks like it's going to be on South Burlington, Tate.
Legal motion is the call.
That was just strange timing. That was a couple seconds after the play.
Yeah, I don't understand the call. We may have to get an update at halftime on that because they credit the first down catch and they marked off 5 yards and start the first down 5 yards back. So
I got to apologize. I don't know that one.
Like I said, we'll need an update at halftime. Not questioning the officials on it. Just
no.
I've not seen that before. Back to pass, fired here to the near side. Ball is caught by O'Neal. O'Neal turns the corner. He'll pick up 6, maybe 7 on the reception.
Slew of Bobwhites in on that one.
Three receivers set, 4 receivers set on the far side of the field.
Just ticked under 2.5 minutes in the first half.
DeWera passes up. Ball is caught by Jack Kelly. Kelly has the first down and more to the BFA 44.
Boy, Kelly's got to have 5-6 catches here in the first half, Tate.
Yep. Clock continues to run here. 2:18 remaining in the first half. SeaWolves now knocking at the BFA 44-yard line. DeWera back to pass again. Has some time, now gets out of the pocket, scrambles, fires it, hits his man in stride for the first down and more. Screeching down the far sideline is Hunter Johnson. And Johnson, they're going to say, is in for the touchdown. So Johnson, great concentration along the sideline there, tiptoeing, staying in bounds. That was really the question that I had. Officials say yes, and that's a big SeaWolf touchdown before the end of the first half.
Absolutely, Tate.
SeaWolves going for the PAT here. August Frazier. He's made all but one kick this evening. This one is up, and it is good. With 1:54 remaining, our score, the SeaWolves 34, BFA 6. You're watching BFA Bobwhite football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back here to the Collins Pearly Sports Center in St. Albans. And, Joe, a back-breaking touchdown to give up right before the half.
It's kind of tough, Tate. It's kind of tough. We'll see. The Bob Whites do have a minute 54 left. They certainly have time to possibly come up with some sort of response.
Kick is away, short end over end kick. It's going to be fielded by Porter Sweeney. Sweeney turns it upfield and is wrapped up out of bounds and around his own 42-yard line.
Sweeney on the return. Out.
Remind our viewing audience, Bob White's on the road next week, next Saturday, as they will play down at Mount Mansfield in Jericho, Vermont.
Are they still the Cougars?
Indeed, they are, yes, as far as I know.
So unless the Bob Whites or Cougars come up with a W this evening, one of those teams will walk out
with a win next week, that's right.
Unless they somehow tied.
Not possible in high school football.
There it is.
Back on the field here, though, firing, and ball is caught for the first down and more. That's Josh Anderson, and Anderson down to the SeaWolf 43-yard line.
Nice little dippity-true right after the catch, picking up another 7 or 8 yards, Tate.
Bob White's trying to get their second score of the season here. Anderson now sprints here to the near side as the clock runs. Bad snap, picked up though, and up in pressure, and that's La Riviere. And La Riviere makes something out of nothing, picking up 5.
We'll take it. La Riviere's season has not been noted by a lot of rushing positive yardage. So, decent play.
With that, we'll see a timeout by BFA with 1:18 to go. We'd also like to thank Northwestern Counseling and Support Services and the Afterglow Foundation. The two organizations have been working to prevent suicide deaths in our community. If you are concerned about yourself or a loved one, there are people in our community that can help. Reach out to NCSS 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on its confidential emergency services line. That's 802-524-6554, and then press 1. Or you can always text 988. One call, text, or chat could save a life.
And we'll see. Bob Whites are coming out of their timeout. See number 88, McNulty, the tight end, appears to be lining up over on the right. He's had some success here in the first half in that capacity.
So manageable second and call it 5. Ball spotted at the SeaWolf 39-yard line. Under pressure, and La Riviere is going to be sacked in the backfield by the SeaWolves. Loss of 10 on the play.
Nothing he could do there besides hold on to the ball, Tate. The Bob White's line just didn't get it done on that snap.
Clock will run. We're under a minute to go. Now Bob White's looking at a 3rd and about 14. They'll huddle up here. See what sort of magic they can pull out of the hat. Corey McNulty splits out wide here to the near side. We've got some formation questions here. Bob White's now set. La Riviere back, again under pressure. He's just going to let it rip deep downfield for McNulty and mix up in communication on the pattern. And Bob White's looking at a 4th and 14 with 32 seconds. Let's see what they do.
It wasn't a successful play for the Bob Whites, but a huge block from number 23, Jones. It made it possible to even throw that ball.
It's a good point, Joe. He's done a good job, not just carrying the football here this evening, but he's made a couple of, certainly more than a couple of critical blocks in the backfield just to allow La Riviere just to get that ball away.
I'll tell you, if you're watching him, he's holding up players that are a lot bigger than he is. Doing a decent job of it.
So here we go. Call it 4th and 14, 32 seconds showing on the clock. Bob White's looking for their second touchdown of the half. La Riviere back, a little float out here to the near side to Sweeney, and Sweeney not finding much open space. Picks up 5, maybe 6, but well short of the first down.
No, the SeaWolves linebacker number 3, Anthony Bouffard, just brought him right back.
So the Bobwhites turn it over on downs. Head coach Chad Wolf of the SeaWolves will send out his starting lineup, and Joe, I would just expect them to take a knee and head into halftime.
That would be the good and decent thing to do.
25 seconds show on the scoreboard. 4 receivers set. De O'Hara, back to pass, sprints out to the far side, eludes one defender, now steps up, now races to the far side along the sidelines with 17 seconds, out to the 30, De O'Hara out to the 20, and De O'Hara is going to take it the distance for a SeaWolf touchdown.
Well,
with 8 seconds remaining. Well, hey, I guess Chad Wolf knew that he could get another touchdown. He takes it, and Bobwhites will have a lot to talk about at halftime.
They got to make tackle state. I don't know how else to say that.
I mean, certainly a number of players were in position, and but again, listen, you're talking with one of the most athletic players in the state, and it's a lot easier to say it than to do it.
Sure.
There's a snap. The kick is up, and it is good. All right, 8 seconds. Joe, any thoughts on what the discussion may be at halftime?
Well, we talked about making that safety an extra linebacker. I haven't seen that, but I would recommend something along those lines. And De O'Hara has had some success throwing the ball, but his legs are just lethal.
Yes.
That's all there is to it.
It's kind of like pick your poison.
In that four-man front for the Bobwhites just isn't getting the pressure you need. If this guy gets an 8-inch hole and he's gone, he's like a mouse getting into your drawers at deer camp.
All right, 8 seconds. SeaWolves to kick away. Again, the firework festivities have been moved from this evening to the Powder Puff game for tomorrow night.
I believe along with the bonfire tape.
Thank you. That was going to be my next question. So no halftime festivities this evening. Frazier backs up for the kickoff. And we're underway. Line drive kick. Going to be fielded, I think, by Porter Sweeney here. Sweeney to the 40. Porter Sweeney still driving ahead. A flag comes in at 1 second, and there a flag lands and sits at the 34-yard line with 1 second on the clock. Some Bobwhites looking to run inside, but sorry, not yet, guys. You got one more play to play.
Yeah, it looks like it's an area of a Bobwhite hold. I could be mistaken, Tate.
Or potential, illegal hit. But yes, I would say this is going to be against the kick return team. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Personal foul against BFA. It's going to be first down. They'll mark off the 15 here, and I got to just think the Bobwhites. I thought Burlington, South Burlington would take a knee on their last play. They didn't. We'll see if BFA does.
Well, BFA sitting about 55 yards from the end zone, Tate.
Was the penalty declined? Oh, they're going to mark it. They were switching up the football. So often the case, the ball that's kicked is not the ball that is used for the offense on the next play. Usually it's switched out. So that's what the officials were just doing there. They switched the footballs, and now they mark off the penalty.
I would expect to see the Bobwhites take a knee here.
Well,
you never can tell, but geez, I would think it likely.
They're in shotgun formation. 2 receivers set. Lurier hands off here to the near side, looking to turn the corner is Devion Jones. Ooh, he takes a big hit on the near sideline.
He got taken up real high, too,
real high.
Number 3, and they're apparently that one's okay.
Well, Jones is shaking up on it.
Of course he was. He got taken right up around the face mask, Tate.
Officials didn't.
That number 3 from South Burlington there should be a conversation with him. That was completely unnecessary.
BFA coaching staff talking with the officials. Well, we'll let them sort through that. With that, we'll take a timeout for the half. Our score at the half, it's Burlington South Burlington 41, BFA 6. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV.
I'm sorry that you love me. Change my mind up like it's origami. Kiss kisses to my exes who don't give a about me. Kisses to the next one who think they can live without me. We make up, then we break up, then they swear they never call me. I still keep their number in the necklace. Kisses to my exes happens every time. I don't make me to be cold, but it's how I get.
Welcome back, everyone, here to the Collins Pearly Sports Center in St. Albans. Tate Brooks, Joe Luno, as we look to start the second half. Joe, first half thoughts? Got to see our first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, nice hookup from Lariviere to number 88, Corey McNulty, about 32, 33 yards or so. So BFA got off the duff in that regard, but gave up 41 points in the first half, Tate.
Taking a look around the league, again, BFA starting this game an hour early at 6. Other teams just getting underway. So Brattleboro versus Middlebury, no score. Hartford versus Mount Anthony, no score. Mount Mansfield against North Country, no score. Just would note there, again, BFA plays at Mount Mansfield next week. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I just got an update. Middlebury 21, Brattleboro 0. So, yes, next week it could be a battle between two teams looking for their first win. U32 versus Woodstock, no score, and then Bellows Falls versus Fairhaven. That should be a really good game tonight in Division II action. Two traditionally strong Division II teams with many championships to their name. That game just getting underway between those two.
Plus, Fairhaven are the Slaters, which is just a cool name.
There you go. If you need some slate, head to Fairhaven.
That's right.
A lot of slate quarries down there still. All right, 12 minutes showing on the board. Bob Whites will be kicking off here.
I think one of Fred Flintstone's bosses was named Mr. Slate.
I think you're right. It's going back into the memory lane column there. So we did have, must be Joe, a personal foul against the SeaWolves. So if you're just joining us, there was a high tackle out of bounds by the SeaWolves to end the half. And apparently that was a 15-yard penalty that is assessed on the kickoff here to start the second half.
And that is why the Bob Whites are kicking off at the SeaWolves 45.
It's Davion Jones, actually the man who was tackled up high, who's doing the kickoff duty. So hopefully he is okay. End-over-end kick, going to be fielded at around the 5-yard line. Racing here to the near side, that's Hunter Johnson, and Johnson taken down at the 25-yard line.
Number 26, Dominic Solomon slowed him up, got a hand on him, but taken down ultimately by 24, Jared Helms. Tate.
All right, let's see what the Bob White defense can do. Joe, the SeaWolves 0 punts in the first half.
None. I think there was 1 3rd and long.
Which they made a nice conversion on, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, BFA's got to clog up in between the hashes and not just let South Burlington run there at will. And we'll see where it goes from there. Until such time we can see any success there, we got troubles at the watchtower.
4-man front handoff over on the far side to Jack Foster, I believe, close to the first down. No, 44. I'm sorry. Owen Guernsey.
Looks like the Bob White tackles from number 74, Keegan Fortier.
So Guernsey's first carry of the evening. They credit him 10 yards and the first down. Guernsey lines up just to the right of his quarterback. And again, he'll take the call and the football on that far side. A pickup of 5.
Picked up 5, a little more lively from the Bob Whites there.
Sets up a 2nd and 3.
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of balls on the ground here in the second half, Tate.
I gotta think head coach Chad Wolf is happy with his team and probably doesn't want much for injuries, and will look to try to run out this clock as quickly as possible in the second half. Handoff straight ahead to Anthony Bouffard. Bouffard picks up another first down for the SeaWolves.
I suspect we're not going to see a whole lot of keepers from Diawara here in the second half along those lines, Tate.
One think, he certainly is going to take a number of hits throughout the season. So you would think they would try to certainly limit those opportunities in the second half. 4 receiver set, but they call his own number and takes the quarterback keeper straight ahead and picks up 14, maybe 15 on the play.
It's not that he can't do it. I just don't think that's very wise on the part of the South Burlington coaching staff.
Riven Williams in on the tackle there for BFA, but, was a pickup of 15. SeaWolves content to keep the ball on the ground here. Not in no hurry to snap the football.
We'll see if the Bob Whites can dial up something.
3 receiver set here to the near side. There's a snap. Back to pass. Pump action. Fires over the middle. Has his receiver. Ball is caught. That's Jack Kelly. Kelly probably leads the team in receptions in this game. Has the first down.
Yeah, taken down by number 23, Davion Jones, and not before the chains move. Kelly, that's his 6th or 7th catch of the game, Tate.
Good hands by Kelly. 1st and 10 for the SeaWolves. Ball spotted at the BFA 22-yard line.
Looks like number 3, Anthony Buffard from South Burlington, is checked in. He was the individual involved in the personal foul at the end of the first half.
Buffard takes the handoff here to the near side. Quick runner, turns the corner, takes off runs over another Bob White defender, and then finally dives in for a touchdown. Joe, not going to want to talk about the tackling on that play.
No, I mean, Buffard looks like he's about 5'7", $150 if his uniform's wet, Tate, and he just bowled over 3 or 4 Bob Whites.
Got an injured Bob White player down on the near sideline.
Looks like number 64, Riven Williams, is leaving to the sideline on his own steam.
So Seamus Leggett checks in. He'll hold on the PAT. August Frazier to kick the PAT. There's a snap. Hold is up. Frazier's kick is up and good. With 8:59 remaining here in the third quarter, our score is the South Burlington SeaWolves 48, the BFA Bob White 6. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back, everyone, here to the Collins Pearly Sports Center in St. Albans. Tate Brooks, Joe Luno on hand. Do have one update for out-of-town scores. It's the Woodstock Wasps leading the U32 Raiders 14-0 in battle of a Division II, Division III team. The Raiders being Division II, the Wasps being a Division III football team. I think they're the 3-time Division state champs.
Going to see a kickoff here from South Burlington from the traditional 40 this time around.
End over and kick on the far side. Davion Johns fields it at the 25. Turns it upfield. Jones here to the near side. Stutter steps, puts a hand down to pick up an extra 5 yards. So a good presence, good balance there, Joe, by Davion Johns. Kind of when he's going down, put his right hand down and pick up an extra 2 to 3 yards.
Hey, just about got back to half field. Give South Burlington a net kick at 12 or 13 yards there, Tate.
All right, we'll see what the Bob Whites can do offensively in the second half. Jones heads into the huddle. LaRiviere breaks the huddle out. Again, shotgun formation. We haven't seen him up under center at all here this evening. 3 receivers set to the near side. Long count, there's a snap. Handoff to Jones on the far side. He's wrapped up immediately in a loss of 7 in the backfield.
There was nothing Jones could do. Looking for the number from South Burlington.
I mean, he was almost, just, he got the handoff and was fortunate to have that.
That was about it. There's a South Burlington, looks like linebacker in there. I didn't quite get the number. Just about simultaneous with the handoff, Tate.
Call it a 2nd and 14.
Bob Whites are just as fortunate to keep possession after what we just witnessed.
McNulty splits out far to the far side of the field. Handoff straight ahead, I believe again to Jones. Picks up a couple on the play, maybe 3. Sweeney on the carry.
Not sure whose blocking assignment it was, but number 65, Lucas Comtois from South Burlington. The defensive lineman was in there way earlier than he should have been, Tate. Looked like somebody mixed up some signals on the BFA O-line.
All right, here we go. 3rd and long. Call it 3rd and 12. Mason Mercier splits out wide here to the near side. Trips formation. There's a snap. Back to pass. Liver the air. Under pressure. Fires it. Ball is caught by Mercier. Nice reception. Going to be just short of the first down.
Nice play, though. Nice presence from Leverrier and Mercier.
Called about a 10-yard reception. Will set up a 4th and about 4 here for the Bob Whites. 7:03 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Bob Whites, I'm sure, will go for it.
Absolutely. I mean, Bob White's just got it into South Burlington territory. And based on what we've seen this evening, Bob White's relative success has been on the offensive side of the football.
Donovan Rathburn checks in. He splits out wide here to the near side. Fumble on the snap, and it's going to be retained by the Bob Whites, but they'll turn it over on down since that was 4th down.
Yeah, number 68, Akeem Murray, right there, not giving the Bob Whites an opportunity to correct their error on that snap, Tate.
Bob Whites have had a few challenges between the center quarterback exchange here this evening.
Center quarterback exchange, the procedural errors before the snap. Particularly when your offense is just trying to find its way. These are things that are just killers.
There we go. 1st and 10 for the SeaWolves. 4 receivers set. Handoff here to the near side to the fullback, Owen Guernsey. Guernsey picks up a couple on the play.
And Bob White's with a decent play on 1st down here as clock kicks down towards 6 minutes in the 3rd quarter, Tate.
Only a pickup of 1. O'Neill and Crete split out wide on the far side of the field here for the SeaWolves. So we got a flag. Illegal procedure, the call against the SeaWolves. 5-yard penalty. Again, SeaWolves have yet to punt this evening.
There have been no SeaWolves punts.
2nd and 14.
Yes, where there's a regular workplace, the SeaWolves punter might have had to put in a temporary unemployment claim this evening.
4 receivers set. D'Auera sprints out to the far side, fires it deep downfield, a gunning arm, has a man open, call is complete, just short of the end zone. Number 16. Well, Joe, I don't know, did you get a call on the number 6? Alec O'Neill on the catch.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Tay. It was over on the far side of the field.
The officials signaling running time here. There they go. Start the clock. Down to 5:06 remaining. Ball officially marked at the 7-yard line of BFA. Handoff to Guernsey. Guernsey stood up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Looked like Wyatt Trombley in with a host of other Bob Whites on the stop.
Yeah, number 54, Brandon LaValle in there as well. bring up a 2nd and 6, Tate.
All right, here we go. 4 receiver set. Bob White's looking for a defensive stand here. Here's a snap. Calling his own number on the quarterback. Keeper only picks up a couple on the play as De Aware.
That is the first reasonable Bob White's hold of the evening on any keeper from Diawara. And boy, I got to tell you, if I was Coach Wolf, I'd be looking to tell Mr. Diawara he'd had a good evening and just have him hold a clipboard for the rest of the night.
They're going to spot it at the 2-yard line, so call it 3rd and goal, from the 2. Delaware, shotgun formation. Takes a snap. Hands off, straight it in, and it is another SeaWolf touchdown. I believe that was Anthony Bouffard. Indeed, Bouffard credited with a 2-yard touchdown, and the SeaWolves extend their lead to 54-6. Again, SeaWolves came into tonight's game 3-1 overall. They'll improve to 4-1. August Frazier's PAT attempt here with Seamus Leggett to hold. Leggett gets it down. Frazier's kick is up. It's high enough, and it is no good. Wide left. With that, we'll actually keep here to have a read from our sponsors. We want to take a moment to thank our community sponsors that make our live sports coverage possible. Split Splash Clean and Clear, Northwestern Rehab Services, Notch Vermont, My Healthy Vermont, JC Image, Stone's Auto in St. Albans and East Fairfield, and Collins Pearly Sports and Fitness Center. If your business would like to help sponsor our live coverage, please reach out to Paul Snyder at Northwest Access TV. Check out their website for more details, northwestaccess.tv. Well, 3:27 to go. Joe, we've got, I think we're out of UP stories.
Yeah, we kind of covered Yuppie a couple weeks ago. And you
can't talk too much about Soki.
Soki only had a few seasons there with the Expos.
Did he have more? So just for background, folks, before UP was the Expos mascot, you had Suki. So he was more than one season? You think he was 2?
Yeah, no, I think you really saw UP appear when Olympic Stadium came about. I think, when the Expos were back at Jerry Park.
It was Suki?
It was Suki who was Mr. Met with some Expos badging.
So you're telling me Suki never made the move from Jerry Park to Stade Olympic?
No, this did not happen.
Interesting. High end over end kick. First time they actually put it over the head of Davion Jones, and Bob White's do recover. That was Porter Sweeney. And Sweeney doing a good job picking up that ball, and so the Bob Whites will maintain possession.
Yeah. So, interesting fact, when the Northern League Baseball was here in Vermont,
in St. Albans as well.
Yeah, the St. Albans Giants.
Yeah. And the baseball park was over by where the Champlain Country Club is. Is that about right?
That is about right. And
All
the future 1945 American League MVP, George Stuffy Sternwise, played for the St. Albans Giants. He was a member of the Yankees in '45, but actually had some lodging on North Main Street at my great grandparents' place, just about across the street from where Brandon's Pools is now.
Porter Sweeney on the carry for no gain. What year are we talking about, Joe?
That would have been about 1939, 1940-ish.
Gotcha. Josh Anderson splits out wide here to the near side. Let's come back to baseball here in a moment, and we're almost in October, right? We can talk baseball when it hits October. Back to pass. Ball is in and out of the hands. Incomplete pass intended for Corey McNulty.
And boy, I tell you, McNulty held on to that one. He had a lot of opportunity there, but
So,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
not to
Tate.
put you on the spot, so what year did the St. Albans Giants leave?
When did they demise?
Yes.
I think you're talking somewhere in the mid-1950s. I am not an expert on the subject, but I think that was about the end of that.
And did the Northern League conclude as well?
I believe they coincided pretty well together. I know that Hall of Famer Robin Roberts of Philadelphia Phillies fame was a.
Ball is loose. Fumble on the play again off the center quarterback. Snap, and who has the football? They're going to signal it is Burlington, South Burlington SeaWolves.
That is a tough break for the Bob Whites there. The SeaWolves are going to recover. Going to bring up a 1st and goal on maybe the 5-yard line by the looks of things.
So again, we made note of that real challenging time on the snap this evening. So Bob White defense takes the field, Joe, in a difficult position, backs against their own end zone at their own 5-yard line.
As you noted, Tate, I don't think Leverriere's taken anything under center tonight. It's all been out of the shotgun.
A little surprised because they do have that, in the playbook, but they're seeing something offensively, but for whatever reason, having some issues on that exchange here this evening. All right. Same quarterback in, handoff straight ahead. Believe that is to Guernsey, and Guernsey's going to be short of the end zone.
Looks like McNulty yanked him and just hung on there for dear life. Appears to be no gain in the first South Burlington effort. We click under 2 minutes here in the third quarter, Tate.
Now, it wasn't the St. Albans Giants, but a very famous baseball player out of Enosburg, Vermont, who played for the Red Sox.
There was one Larry Gardner who was a fixture of the Red Sox World Series teams of the Babe Ruth era, and went to pick up another one with the Cleveland Indians.
Guernsey stops short of the end zone, sets up a 3rd and goal at about the 3.
In modern times, you don't see as many former ball players. We do have former gubernatorial candidate Bill Lee, a.k.a. the Spaceman.
Spaceman. They still talk about him up in Montreal.
Yeah, so he lives over, I believe, in the Cavendish area, if I'm not mistaken.
4 receivers set. Handoff again. Was there a fumble on the play? 4th down. I think Guernsey had a handle on it. I think he lost it, though, but they do maintain possession. Now looking at a 4th and goal at around the 2.
I'm guessing they're going to run a play, Tate.
Down to 40 seconds remaining here.
Unless they want to give their field goal crew an opportunity to practice.
Don't think so. I think August Frazier has had enough opportunities kicking the football here this evening between the uprights, just on the PATs alone.
That's a fair assessment. He's gotten most of them.
Missed 2. He's missed 2. All right. Here we go. 17 seconds remaining in the quarter. 3 receivers set here to the near side. Trips formation. There's a snap. Going to be a pitch out to Guernsey. Guernsey looking for the far pylon. And he's pushed out of bounds. I don't think he's in, Joe. No, they say he's just in. Touchdown. Touchdown. Owen Guernsey from a couple yards out. They give him just inside the pylon, I guess. Hey, well, when it rains, it pours. I am wearing a rain jacket tonight.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough. Hopefully the Bob Whites have their flood insurance.
4 seconds showing here in the quarter. Certainly not the homecoming the Bob Whites were hoping for here this evening. Let's be frank. 60-6 is the score. Frazier for the kick. His leg may be getting sore. That bad snap, so they're going to call it off, and calling his own number, trying to race to the corner for the 2-point conversion. Is he in? Yes. The 2-point conversion is good.
Boy, the official linesman had a different angle than the box because it looked a little short up here, but I guess it's really an academic question.
Not going to change the outcome of the game. That's fair to say.
No, it is not.
What I will say, though, I'd also like to thank Northwestern Counseling and Support Services and the Afterglow Foundation. The 2 organizations have been working to prevent suicide deaths in our community. If you are concerned about yourself or a loved one, there are people in our community that can help. Reach out to NCSS 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on its confidential emergency services line, 802-524-6554. Press 1, or you can always text 988. One call, text, or chat could save a life. All right, well, we got time for one kickoff here, and then, yes, we still have a fourth quarter to play, but it will be running time at this point.
Yep. But it looks like if they can get it not to rain, the New York Mets and Atlanta have a very important series.
So what do they get? Some of those games have been postponed until Monday, right?
2 days in a row, but the Mets and another club hold a one-game lead on the Atlanta Braves. 2 out of 3 get into the wild card. So really important Mets-Braves series. I'm sure our good friend Leonard Parent, if you were around, would be enjoying these games.
Yeah, certainly thoughts and prayers to Leonard Parent's family out there. Huge member of the Franklin County community.
And I think the biggest Braves supporter I've ever met.
He certainly had a few journeys, from what I understand, up to Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy actually umpired Division I or varsity baseball as a high school student.
3 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Devion Jones checks in for the Bob Whites. Last play of the quarter, I would expect. Crowd starting to filter out a little bit here at the Collins Pearly.
I wouldn't know why.
High snap, able to get it down. Handoff straight ahead to Le'Veon Jones and bursts not Sweeney. Sweeney picks up 4, maybe 5. And that will do it. I believe we also have a new quarterback into the game for the Bob Whites. I think Trip Rabtoy is in. But with that, we'll take a timeout. Our score as we enter the fourth quarter, SeaWolves 62, BFA 6. You're watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. All right, welcome back, everyone, here to the Collins Pearly Sports Center in St. Albans. As we look to begin the fourth quarter play, we'll all be running time here. As we mentioned, we've got a new quarterback into the game here for BFA, Trip Rabtoy, sophomore.
Had a little bit of success in the JV level. We see what he can do here in the fourth quarter, Tate.
Handoff to Le'Veon Jones around the near side. Jones takes a hit, but leans ahead and appears to have enough for a BFA first down.
It looks like it's going to be enough.
Jones needed a couple, and looks like he picked up about 3. It is a first down, the official signal.
Tell you, Jones was Rabtoy's halfback in a Steelers junior high team that made the state championship a couple of years ago, Tate.
I mean, should note that both Jones and Rabtoy are sophomores. Again, many sophomores seeing lots of playing time on this BFA team. There's a snap, fumble again, and picked up by Rabtoy. Races here to the near side, lowers his shoulder, and scoots ahead for 7.
Nifty little gain out of a bad snap, Tate.
Turning nothing into something.
And didn't even get hit clean at the end of the play. Just kind of stumbled and bumbled.
Looking at a 2nd and 3, 10:40. Again, should be running time at this point. 7:50 showing on folks' watches.
Sweeney set back next to Rabtoy.
High snap way over his head. And its ball is still loose, and it's going to be scooped up You know it. You see it.
Not the Bob Whites.
The Burlington South Burlington SeaWolves. And again,
not the Bob Whites.
Center quarterback exchange issues ongoing here this evening.
If Jeffrey the Giraffe was back there, the ball would have gone over his neck. That was a very high trajectory snap.
So, going back to baseball, any other real significant playoff races? The Yankees clinched last night, is that right?
Yeah, the AL is about it's about how the radish. You know, you got Seattle could win out. There's Detroit and KC there towards the bottom. I mean, I personally am watching Cal Raleigh, a guy with some Franklin County roots, needs 4 RBI in his last 5 games to make 100. The catcher for Seattle.
New quarterback in here for the SeaWolves. Handoff to number 25, J-Man Lim Cobbs. Cobbs picks up a couple. The other thing, Joe, we should probably make mention since we're talking about baseball, you know, a very sad day yesterday where the Oakland Athletics played their very last game in Oakland at the Coliseum.
Hey, they had a lot of good seasons there. A lot of good seasons there. You know, you had the clubs with the early 70s clubs. They were the nemesis of the Big Red Machine. And they had a little bit of a resurgence in the late 80s with the Bash Brothers and Dave Stewart and Dennis Eckersley reinvented as a reliever. You know, so some good memories, but Oakland appears to just be a victim of the marketplace, I'm afraid.
And, you know, and while not the superstars of the Bash Brothers, the early 2000 Oakland A's had some real solid teams.
Absolutely. I mean, the film Moneyball.
There you go.
Based on them and their general manager, Billy Beane, whose analytics really have changed the way that baseball is played now. Not all of which I'm a fan of. Okay, you got everybody swinging for the fences now. Okay, and 300 hitters who get singles and get on base, you don't hear of because they never leave AAA.
Well, I will say though, obviously baseball tried to address that some with a slight enlargement of the bases. And Joe, I mean, we did just have our first 50-50 baseball player, home runs and stolen bases.
Mr. Ohtani from the LA Dodgers.
Calling his own number once again is Leggett, it looks like. He'll have enough for the first down. And that's the first time we've seen that in baseball, 50-50.
Yeah, last year we had Acuna from the Braves, I think was the first.
40-40?
No, it was like 35-70 guy or something. It was something crazy. But 50-50 is just bizarre.
So what do you think? Who's the, he's got to be the favorite for the National League MVP?
I don't know how he couldn't be. I get that he didn't pitch this year, but he's a 50-50 guy. Jeez, what else? What else do you want?
Well, for him to pitch.
Yeah, maybe he should be running one of the hot dog vendors, too, over by the third baseline while he's waiting for his turn to hit.
It's going to be a quarterback keeper straight ahead for about 5 on the carry, down to 7 minutes to go here.
South Burlington sniffing in the end zone again, Tate. We'll see what happens.
But getting back to the Oakland A's, just yesterday's game, which the A's came away victorious, reminded me, unfortunately, of the 2004 Montreal Expos. Again, their last season at Olympic Stadium.
Of course, the A's were originally in Philadelphia. Long-term baseball manager Connie Mack moved somewhat briefly to Kansas City, where they were primarily known as the minor league quadruple A affiliate of the New York Yankees. Traded talent away to the Yankees for bags of peanuts, such as Roger Maris and 59 and other players. That
was Lyman Cobbs on the carry. Well, the Yankees were appreciative.
Yeah, a guy named Charlie Finley bought the club, was in KC, moved it to Oakland around 67 or so.
And shockingly, the A's started to have some success.
They did. Actually, Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee, the Clipper, was a batting coach for him early in their tenure in Oakland.
SeaWolves looking at a 3rd and 4 here. Quarterback keeper straight ahead, calling his own number, and he's in for another SeaWolf touchdown. Looks like number 13, Seamus Leggett, on the 13-yard carry.
Boy, almost ran into the right side goalpost there, Tate, on the way in.
Clock must stop with the score.
That was kind of interesting to watch in like your pre-merger football footage, where the goalposts were at the goal line instead of the back.
Hey, we still get to see it in the CFL, right? The Canadian Football League.
Yeah, right, with the forward motion.
Only takes you an hour drive north of St. Albans.
So you got like 2 bonus players in your offense, you know, when you're running, goal-to-go schemes.
I think the Alouettes, speaking of CFL, have their next home game on Canadian Thanksgiving coming up here, in a couple of Mondays.
And as we know, Tate, as good as they are this year, the Alouettes will never score a touchdown at home because they are called touches there.
And so is their mascot, called Touche.
He is. Touche. Touche, the Alouette touchdown bird. He's been a very busy bird this year.
A little busier than the Bob White Birds.
Yes. Much busier than the Bob White kickoff return squad.
All right, 5:40 to go here. Clock will start with the kickoff. Now, speaking of the A's, is the plan they're going to play in Sacramento in a minor league baseball stadium for the next few years? Is that kind of the
end up in Las Vegas? Is that the plan?
That's my understanding. Although I did hear there's a petition out there that still may force a public referendum vote.
And I know the Raiders had an issue with it. But here's an idea. Let's take some young men. Okay, put them in Las Vegas, Nevada. They never really had any financial resources. Give them a few $1 million and tell them not to get in trouble. What possibly could go wrong?
Well, line drive kick goes by Porter Sweeney. Sweeney's going to try to pick it up, and he lands it on the 9-yard line. Clock will continue to run. So Bob White's going to start this drive at their own 9. Josh Anderson making his way out there, as we indicated. We've got quarterback Trip Rabtoy in.
Ticking down toward 5 minutes, Tate. Bob White's were getting a little bit of momentum there in the last series. It was done in with a snap. That was Rabtoy's first series of the night as a quarterback. We've seen him here as a punter.
All right, let's see what the Bob Whites. It'd be nice if they can, drive the ball down the field, get a touchdown, right? Nice way to end the evening. Mason Mercure splits out wide, handoff over on that far side. Looks like number 20, Porter Sweeney, on the carry.
Yep, got a little bit there, Tate. Looks like it'll bring up a 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. No, it'd be a little better than that. We call it a 2nd and 6. I think we're going for a record.
All right, here we go. Long count. Rabtoy with the snap. Handoff here to the near side. And met in the backfield. It's going to be a loss on the play. Unblocked. That was Porter Sweeney on the carry, but nowhere for Sweeney to go. As another lost cell phone made its way up here to the press box, Joe. I think that's like 5 or 6 in this game. It's got to be a record.
It's certainly a notable number for the evening. It is right up there with the number of Bob White first downs this evening, Tate. Again, we did see that strike from Lariviere to McNulty in the first half for the Bob White's first points of the season.
Yeah, handoff here straight ahead, lowering his shoulder and driving ahead. Just going to be short of the first down is Porter Sweeney.
A little bit of juice there. It's I don't think he's going to be that far off, Tate, but you're right. He's going to be short.
Credit Sweeney running hard. Hey, man, you got to give him credit down by country mile. And still really putting in the effort. So the coaching staff certainly happy to see that, I would think.
It looks like the Bob White's offense is still on the field. But again, Rabtoy, number 14, is also the punter, so it's hard to say.
That looks like they're coming out in a 4-receiver set. So Rabtoy in at quarterback still, takes the snap. Looking to be a pass over here to the near side, looking to turn it upfield is McNulty, and is McNulty going to have enough for the first down? They give it to him. So big 4th down conversion. That will move the sticks once again for BFA.
And I believe that is McNulty's 3rd reception of the night, one of which was a touchdown.
Yep.
You know, if we were at the Bell Center, Tate, that might be enough for tonight's 3rd star.
There you go. Handoff straight ahead over on that far side. Maybe see if that was Devion Jones on the carry. Indeed it was. Jones picking up, call it 5. We're down to 1:48 to go and a couple more snaps.
Well, I've learned something here tonight, Tate. If I needed a sideline, I could just stay up in the booth and work on recycled cell phones that people apparently just can't hold on to. Kind of like snaps.
2nd and 5. All right, here we go. There's the snap. Rabtoy was expecting the handoff, but nobody there. Rabtoy stutter steps, drives ahead. Again, Rabtoy mix up in the backfield. Should have been a loss of 4, but Rabtoy somehow turns it into a 1st down.
That's a couple times tonight. You know, Rabtoy taking advantage of his opportunity, State. It's just taken broken plays and gotten something positive done with his feet. So
yeah.
I think that's a promising takeaway from the game here for the Bob Whites this evening.
Under a minute to go. Want to remind our viewing audience, BFA will be on the road next week as they travel down to Chittenden County. They'll take on the Mount Mansfield Cougars next Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
You know, a lot of us think of Mount Mansfield as being north of here, but it's really south and east.
Correct. Handoff again to Davion Johnson. Jones, excuse me. And we got 20 seconds remaining. The Bob Whites may have that as their last snap of the game.
Oh, heck, why don't they just air one out, Tate? Why not? They're huddling. They're thinking about it. They're going to run a play.
Bob White's going to have to hurry to get this off. 2 seconds.
Huck one, fellas.
And not able to get that off.
All right.
That will do it. Our final score, it was the Burlington SeaWolves 69, the BFA Bob Whites 6. Joe, any parting final thoughts?
Well, hey, the Bob Whites got their first points on the board of the year. I think we saw some positive movement for Rabtoy towards the end, but guys, you gotta make the tackles when they're presented to you. South Burlington didn't punt tonight.
You don't punt usually means you don't lose.
This is true.
All right. Well, our final score, the SeaWolves 69, BFA 6. Thank you for tuning in. You've been watching BFA Bob White football on Northwest Access TV. Everyone, have a great night.